Hello, and welcome back to the Learning Network. You're with Kell Bell, and today I'm sharing with you some of my thoughts around the toll that our teaching experience is having on us as educators, and some of the things that I've been listening to over recent weeks from my community, so my Health and Movement Science membership, but also the CAFS Collective, our CAFS membership, and also online as a result of quite a few teacher Facebook groups I'm part of. And look, people, you know what people like on social media? Some people get on their high horse and have a bit of a rant about what it's really like in the classroom, or what they're feeling, how they're feeling. But a lot of the common things that I keep seeing, keep hearing, is that time is the thing that is preventing them from actually doing their job. And look, I think in the last 5 years, that has been the case for many teachers, not just here in Australia, not just in New South Wales, but all across the globe. And I think obviously COVID I think was a catalyst to some of that, maybe the start of it. And obviously there's still a hang up from COVID, and many people still feeling really burnt by that experience. And I think for some people, a lot of trauma around that. So if you're in that position, please make sure you reach out to someone who you trust, whether it be your principal or someone outside of the school system, a counsellor, psychologist, possibly even some of our services like Black Dog Institute, reach out, Lifeline, etc. Because I think it's really important that you get the support and the advice that you need right now. And I know that a lot of our unions obviously do provide a lot of support, professional support, but obviously we need to really protect ourselves and our wellbeing. So before I hit record on this, I wanted to do some background research, and I found two recent articles, two recent research papers around teacher burnout, reforms, etc. So from the Black Dog, they did a research paper that was released in Feb this year, so 2023, and they found that almost half of Australian teachers, 46.8%, are considering leaving the profession within the next 12 months, according to a survey that was sent out to 4,000 teachers here in Australia. So that's an increase of 14% from the 2021 survey. So just during COVID, just during COVID. And we know from conversations that we've had with each other, with other colleagues, that some of us are at breaking point. And I think there's been a lot of media out there that the profession is at crisis point because people are very much feeling the pinch. They also mentioned that teachers are working longer hours, which I think I hear. For me, I left the classroom in July 2020, if you haven't heard my story, after COVID. But it wasn't just about COVID. I loved COVID. I loved online learning. It was the burnout that I felt. It was the pressure I felt. And it was a lack of support from my leadership, my principal, essentially. So in Black Dog's research, they found that obviously, a lot of people are feeling that pinch of the workload. So 70% of the teachers reported having unmanageable workloads. Over 3/4, at nearly 77%, of that teacher shortages in their school at the moment. And 1/4 of teachers reported that they taught a class outside of their regular training. And that's one thing I get a lot. I get people coming into our community saying, hey, I'm a primary school teacher. We have one of our teachers in the CAFS Collective who is a primary trained teacher, and she's teaching CAFS for the first time this year. We have teachers who are teaching outside of their teaching space. We have an English teacher in our CAFS Collective membership as well. Their teachers are teaching out of their training. And look, we need to do so much to support these teachers, because I never want you to feel alone. I never want you to feel like you're on your own. But I think it's really important for us to work together as a PDHPE and CAFS community to help support those teachers, because I think if we don't work together, these statistics are going to continue to increase. We also have some research from the National School Reform back in January of this year around the hours that teachers are working. So in Australia, teachers are working over 5 hours a week more than other teachers in the world, which is, I don't know, it's quite mind-blowing to think that those 5 extra hours, like what are we doing? What's happening in our country that's different to overseas? Many teachers are working between 44 and 57 hours a week during term time. And look, we need to really reduce that. That simply isn't good enough. The old, 9 to 3 job, school holidays doesn't happen. And I think we need to really work together to protect your precious time, energy, and your well-being. Another thing that comes up a lot for people is that the lack of time. And I know that that's probably our most precious resource that we have. Time is so precious. Recently, we lost a friend's brother, passed away. He was 46. And it was a bit of a wake-up call for Daniel and I, because we're like, wow, this beautiful man, husband, father of 6, was given 5 weeks to live. Time is so precious, and I think we take it for granted a lot. And a lot of us as teachers are spending our waking hours doing so much. We're not protecting ourselves. We're saying yes to everything. And look, I know how you feel, because I was in that position as well. I would say yes to everything, especially as a young teacher. But I think, I don't know, like why do we become people pleasers? Like, why do we say yes to, is it, self-worth? Is it trying to prove ourselves? I don't really know, but it's important to advocate for yourself. It's important to advocate for your well-being, because at the end of the day, our job is a job. Yes, it's a vocation. Yes, we love it. We love teaching. We love our profession, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of our health and our well-being. And I think for many of us, we're taking work out, work home beyond the hours that we need to, whipping out that laptop again, after 8, after 9, after we, maybe our partner's gone to bed, after we put the kids to bed if we have kids, or our furry friends. But I think a lot of us are spending those hours after hours doing that extra work. And I think it's really putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. So what is the answer? I often look for the answers. You listen to media, listen to social media, radio, current affair, all that sort of stuff, some documentaries around teaching and statistics. But what can we actually do about it? It doesn't seem like it's changing very quickly. We know that there's been, a lot of talk around pay increases this year. But I really think we need to change the landscape of teaching. We need to change what happens in schools. We need to change the support that is on the ground for teachers. And I think for too long, I don't know, like it's, suck it up and get it done. You'll get through it. You'll be okay. Just part of the profession. But I don't think it is. Look, I do miss a lot of things about teaching. I miss the energy in classrooms, although I have that with our beautiful members and our events and the CAFS conference and all those sorts of things. But I think what I miss most is that energy in a classroom. And if you don't have the support at your school, if you don't have the support for you as a teacher, how can you have that energy to bring into your classroom, to bring your classroom to life, to make your kids love learning like we do, and to get back to those things that we kind of were drawn into the profession with. So really energetic classrooms, lots of discussions. And I think for many of us, those experiences and those opportunities that we provide to our students are often missed because we're so busy chasing our bum, chasing our tail with all the paperwork that we need to keep up with. This year has been a really interesting year for me personally and professionally, because I've been doing a lot of listening, a lot of working behind the scenes for you as a teacher, but also I think just observing what's happening in our landscape. And if it doesn't change, these statistics that I mentioned, very briefly, are going to have a really big impact on education. And I think, it's something has to give, something has to happen. And I think, you could introduce a lot of wellbeing activities at your school, but if something doesn't happen at the top, or if something doesn't happen in the system, we're going to be in the position that, we have a lot of young teachers who don't want to be there. We have a lot of untrained teachers, but also teachers who don't have the support that they need. So I don't really know what the key answer is here, but I think it's really important as educators we work together. And if you know me well, you know that I absolutely love working together. The importance of collaboration over competition, community over competition, and connection over competition has definitely something that's been part of my profession, because in the early days I didn't really have that with different people that I came across, and certainly in the later part of my career I didn't have that support that I needed. I didn't have support from the top. Certainly I didn't have the support from the colleagues around me. So that's kind of, led me to where I was, to leave the classroom, because I felt that not only the burnout from teaching, but also from the lack of support. Now, this year, if you've been following along closely, you'll notice that things have shifted a little bit inside what we do here at the Learning Network. And it is my absolute core mission to protect you as a teacher. I never want you to feel like I did. I never want you to feel burnt out and done. And I get lots of emails from you daily, weekly, inside our membership, at the CAFS conference, in our conversations, that you're simply feeling the pinch. I literally had, for me, a pain in my neck, and I had 2 pains in my neck that I worked with. And I never want you guys to feel like that. So this year, it was a bit of a roller coaster for me, but I was like, okay, well, I know that I'm seen as a CAFS, expert, but I didn't just teach CAFS for 16 years. I taught pretty much all of the PDHPE courses under our umbrella, high school PE, not K-6 PE, but I didn't teach child studies because that came out, that was implemented after I left. And I was like, okay, well, what is a way that I can give back to our profession? What is a way that I can just save you a bit of time, that I can just take that edge off of preparation, take the edge off of some admin work? So I decided to introduce the EEC package. And literally I thought, okay, I loved EEC, really practical, really engaging for the kids. But it does take time to kind of create these resources and to develop something that's going to make a big impact on your kids. And with HSE stuff around, you don't really have time for some of those other courses, the Category B courses like EEC, SLR, or even our electives like PASS and Child Studies. So I thought, what's the way that I can help teachers just take that edge off a little bit? So I decided to create the EEC package. And I have the knowledge around EEC, some resources in my head, ideas, but I think it really took me over 120 hours or more, I reckon 150, close to 150 hours to develop that package. And I thought, imagine if I was back in the classroom and I hadn't taught a course before, like Child Studies say, and someone had given me an exchange of resources. So I gave them some money, I exchanged some money, interchange some money for my time. What would that cost me? So obviously I came up with a figure for our teaching and learning packages, and all of them have saved teachers hundreds and hundreds of hours of preparation. So that was EEC. And then I kind of put a bit of a feeler out, like, would anyone be interested in this? I'm kind of writing it. Would anyone be keen to see what it looks like? 15 teachers responded straight away. Yep, I want to grab it for half price. I think that's what I offered maybe at the beginning, or a discount. People grabbed it. They're like, yep, I love this. And then I saw that momentum. Okay, if these 15 teachers like it and snapped it up in only a couple of days, imagine that ripple effect that could have across New South Wales. So I then obviously sent that out to our community via email, Facebook, that sort of thing. And we've had, I think, over 50 teachers snap that up. And I'm like, okay, well, if EEC wants support and needs it, what about child studies? So we went again. Term 2, we rolled out the child studies package. And that literally ate up so much of my term 2. I loved creating it, but even for me, I felt the pinch a little bit creating that. So obviously the scope and sequences, the assessment schedules, 6 assessment tasks, done for you assessment tasks with marking guidelines, research articles and links and activities and, exam type questions, templates and scaffolds that kids can use in the classroom and teachers can use with their kids, sample reports, if you're doing subject selection, literally everything I could think of without actually teaching your class, I put into that package. So that was EEC and child stage. And I thought, okay, do I go for the trifecta? Do I see if people want an SLR package as well? And you did. So teachers told me, yes, Kell, we're time poor. Like, this is the reason why we're so burnt out. We don't have the time and the energy. Can you help us? So we again, and we brought out the SLR package. And then I'm like, okay, well, obviously it's going to be a no-brainer to go, okay, pass. So those 4 packages this year have been developed, and we haven't done a whole heap of promotion around those, but I'd love to invite you on Thursday night to come to our PDHPE and CAFS showcase, where you can get a little snapshot, a little sneak peek as to what it's actually like inside the packages. Now, I know buying something online is quite tricky. Like professional learning, you kind of know what to expect. And a lot of the professional learning that I've been part of, I feel like I'm a bum on a seat. I'm not seen. I don't get any resources. I see the presenter and then I don't see them again ever, really. And I knew that our packages were going to make a difference because they were going to be tangible things that people could literally use in the classroom the next day on a silver platter, like for you to use straight away in your classroom. And I don't know, like if I can just save the time of a couple of teachers, 10 teachers, 20 teachers, I think I've done my job. And rather, when I worked at the school I was working at prior to leaving the classroom, where I had people undermining what I was doing, questioning what I was doing, wasting so much of my time, asking very basic things that they should have had the experience to be able to do themselves. And I'm not talking about content stuff. I'm talking about 101 teaching that they could literally go to a textbook or Google themselves for themselves. So if I can help people that want support, that are time poor, but also are looking for something that's going to help, save that precious time that they have, then why not? So on Thursday, as I said, we're hosting the PDHPE and CAFS showcase. It's going to be online via Zoom, and I'll show you through our PDHPE and CAFS packages. And if you're like, Kell, I just need some ideas, just some fresh ideas. Like I'm done. Like I've got no energy left. I want some fresh ideas for next year. If you are a time poor teacher that you haven't really invested much time in planning and preparation for some of these courses, especially EEC, SLR, because they're, non-8-hour courses. Sometimes people think, okay, well, I don't need to invest that preparation, but often a lot of our disengaged kids will take those courses. So you really need to be on your game. Same for our 9 and 10 electives, PASS and child studies. Child studies especially, it's only fairly new, like 2020, 2021. It's very, very new. So there's not much out there for teachers, and certainly PASS, it's continuing to evolve. So of course we have those but also our life skills in CAFS package, our Year 11 CAFS package, our Strive for HSC Success in CAFS package, as well as our IRP course. If you're new to CAFS and haven't done the IRP yet, we're offering you guys access to see those, to check them out, ask any questions that you do have around the packages. So it's like an open house. You get to kind of like try and see and watch and look around before you actually make the purchase. So if you'd love to join us on Thursday night, head over to learnet.com/showcase to sign up to secure your spot at the showcase. And if you know colleagues that are looking for some time-saving resources that would just literally save you hundreds and hundreds of hours, then let me know, because I'd love to have you. So the learnet.com/showcase is where you need to go. But if you have any questions about anything, any support that we're offering, obviously for teachers in PDHPE and CAFS, please don't hesitate to reach out. But I'd love to see as many PE and CAFS teachers on Thursday night live via Zoom.